Hello and thank you for joining this lesson. This is Temed Familia. In this video, going to look at pre-technical studies. It's a very good paper for revision. Therefore, kindly stay to the end because we're going to solve this paper fully. So it's going to start with section A, which has 30 marks. The first question reads, Mary wants to start a bakery business. Which economic resource is a oven an example of? A, labor, B, land, C, capital, D, enterprise. Which one do you think is the correct option? To start with, it is not labor, because we know that labor is human effort. And also B, land is not the correct option because we know that land is a natural resource. And also it is not enterprise. Enterprise refers to the ability to organize the other resources to run a business. Because we know that oven is a man-made tool, and therefore it is referred to as a capital. You know that capital refers to man-made tools, machines or equipments used in production, and therefore an oven is a man-made tool. For question number 1, the correct option is C. Let's continue to question number 2. A computer virus that tricks users into opening dangerous files is known as A, phishing, B, worm, C, Trojan, D, firewall. So to start with, it is not phishing, because you know that phishing is a cyber attack where criminals trick people to revealing their sensitive information like password pins by pretending to be trustworthy. And also it is not worm, because you know that worm is a type of malware that can self-replicate and spread across network. Also D, it is not firewall, because firewall is a security system. It can be a software or hardware that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network. And therefore, the virus that tricks users into opening dangerous files is known as Trojan. For question number 2, the correct answer is C. We continue to question number 3. Which of the following is not a metallic material? A, steel, B, aluminium, C, brass, D, rubber. So you know that steel is a metallic material, also aluminium, and also brass. And therefore, the one which is not a metallic material is rubber. Rubber is an non-metallic material. And therefore, the correct option is D. We continue to question number 4. Which type of projection is used to draw a 3D object slanted at 45 degrees? A, isometric, B, oblique, C, orthographic, D, perspective. So which one do you think is the correct option? To start with, it is not isometric. Isometric uses 30 degrees angle, not 45 degrees. It is also not orthographic and also not perspective. And therefore, the correct option is B. It is known as oblique. So oblique projection shows 3D objects with receding lines at 45 degrees. And therefore, the correct option is B. We continue to the next question, question number 5. Which raised platform is used for performing repair and inspection work on tall machines? A, catwalk, B, scaffolding, C, ladder, D, ramp. You know that it is not catwalk, and also it is not ramp. Ramp is a sloped surface for movement, not for working at height. It can be used to load and offload goods. So we are left with B and C. It is not a ladder, because you know that ladder, it is for climbing, not for stable work platforms. And therefore, the correct option is B, scaffolding. Scaffolding is a temporary raised structure for working at height. Remember, we are inspecting tall machines, and therefore, we need to use scaffolding. We continue to question number 6. The line used to show dimensions on a drawing is, so we're talking about dimensions. Part A, center line. Part B, dimension line. C, hidden line. D, cutting plane line. To start with, it is not cutting plane line. This shows sectional views. And also it is not hidden line. Hidden line represents invisible edges. And also it is not center line. Center line shows symmetry. And therefore the correct option is B. It is known as dimension line. So we continue to the next question, question number 7. Which components store programs and data for long-term use? So underline the word long-term use. A, RAM, B, CPU, C, hard disk, D, ROM. So to start with, you know that it is not CPU. CPU, the function is to process data, doesn't store long term. It is not for storing data. And also it is not ROM. ROM, it is a permanent but limited, mainly system which is used to store instructions, not large data. And also it is not RAM. RAM, we say it is volatile because it is temporary memory. And therefore, the correct option is C. It is hard disk. Hard disk is a permanent storage device. We continue to question number 8. A main reason for seasoning wood is to A, improve smell, B, reduce cost, C, remove moisture, D, make it darker. So we start with part A, improve smell. That is not the main reason. And also to reduce cost, that is not the main reason. What about D? Also D, that one is not true. Therefore, the main reason for seasoning wood, this is grade 9 work, is to remove moisture. To remove moisture to prevent things like rotting, cracking, and even warping. Continue to question number 9. Each of these is not a principle of freehand sketching. A, accuracy. B, proportion. The other side we have C, roughness. D, neatness. Which one do you think is the correct option? So to start with, accuracy. Accuracy is a very important principle, and also proportion is essential for correct representation. We continue to part C. Neatness. Neatness is a very important principle. And therefore, the one is not, it is roughness. Roughness is not a principle of freehand sketching. Sketches should be neat, accurate, and proportional. And therefore, roughness is not a principle of freehand sketching. Continue to question number 10. A businessman who sees a market gap and quickly starts a business is showing A, dishonesty, B, opportunity grabbing, C, innovation, and D, risk avoidance. So which one do you think is the correct option? It is not dishonesty, and also it is not risk avoidance. So we are left with B and C. It is not innovation, and therefore the correct option is B. Is not that person is showing what we call opportunity grabbing. So he sees a market gap and quickly starts a business. So that is what we call opportunity grabbing. Continue to question number 11. Which software would best help a student to create a poster? A, Excel, B, Scratch, C, Word, D, Publisher. To start with, it is not Excel. Know that Excel is mainly for data and graphs. Also, it is not Scratch. Scratch is a programming environment for coding, not poster designing. And also, it is not Word. Word is for typing, word processing. It is limited for posters. And therefore, the correct option is D, a publisher. Publisher is a software which will help a student to create a poster. So therefore, for question number 11, the correct option is D. We continue to question number 12. Which of the following symbols is found on poisonous substances? A, we have some diagrams here. We have A, B, C, D. Which one is found on poisonous substances? So you know that the symbol, this one means corrosive. This is toxic. Do you know for C? This is for D, it is radioactive. And therefore, poisonous substances, it is a toxic substance. And therefore, the correct symbol, it is B. Here we have a bone in the skull, and therefore, that is the symbol for that hazard. Let us continue to question number 13. Which factor is most important when selecting communication channel? A, the sender's age, B, type of message, C, color of message, D, number of letters. So to start with, the sender's age does not matter. Therefore, that is not an important factor. What about the color of message? That one is not true. And even the number of letters, that one is not true. So the important factor when selecting communication channel is the type of message. So the type of message, is it formal or informal? Is it private or public? So you can see the type of message is very important when selecting the communication channel. We continue to question number 14. Which waste type is most common in offices with many printers? A, glass, B, e-waste, C, metal, D, organic. So it is not glass, also it is not metal. What about organic? Example of organic waste is like food leftovers, and therefore that is not the answer. The correct option is B. E-waste means electronic waste, and therefore that is the answer to question number 14. Electronic waste is the most common in offices with many printers. We continue to question number 15. Amina started a salon business. In the month of June, her records showed the following. Here we have item amount in Kenya shillings. Revenue from services, 85,000. Wages paid, 25,000. Rent, 15,000. Electricity bill, 5,000. Hair product used, 10,000. What was Amina's profit or loss for the month of June? So you can see this is the revenue. Then these 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the expenditures. So going to add the expenditures, maybe you can add somewhere here. So expenditure will be, it is 25,000 plus 15,000, that is 40,000. 40,000 plus 5,000 is 45,000. 45,000 plus 10,000, so the expenditure is 55,000. So the profit, you know that profit, the formula is given by profit, it is the revenue. So I'm going to use initial because the space is limited, revenue minus the expenses. So the revenue is 85,000 minus the expenses, which is, we have added, it is 55,000. 55,000. So in subtract these two, you can see it is 30,000. That is the profit. And therefore, the correct option is A. 30,000 is the profit, and therefore it is not a loss. So it is profit of 30,000 Kenya shillings. So we continue to question number 16. What is the reward for capital in business? A, rent, B, salary, C, interest, D, profit. So which one do you think is the reward for capital? To start with, it is not rent. Rent is a reward for land and not a capital. What about salary? It is not salary. Salary is a reward for labor. And also profit. Profit is a reward for enterprise. And therefore, the reward for capital in business is called interest. And therefore, the correct option is C. Let's go to question number 17. A tool used for driving nails into wood is a clamp, B, hammer, C, plane, D, chisel. So you know that clamp is used for holding, not driving nails. Also plane is for smoothing, and the chisel is for cutting or even shaping wood. And therefore, the tool used to drive nails is hammer. Hammer is the one which is used to drive nails. Let us go to question number 18. A tool used to hold wood in place when working is, here we have some tools. We have A, B, C, D. So here we have tool A, tool B, tool C, tool D. So to start with, it is not C. Pliers, you know that pliers is used for holding, gripping, or even cutting wires. Also, it's not a saw, handsaw, is used for cutting wood. Also, it is not A. Therefore, the one which is used to hold wood in place is this one, which is B. We call it a vise. So this is what we call a vise. It is used for holding wood in place when working. Let us go on to question number 19. The classification of computers by size includes all except we have mainframe, B, supercomputer, C, gaming PC, D, microcomputer. You know that you can classify computer. Here we have according to size, purpose or functionality, and then we can classify according to the type of data handling. So you know that mainframe is under size, also supercomputer, and also microcomputer. Therefore, the odd one out is the gaming PC. Gaming PC is not a classification of computer by size, and therefore the option is C. Let us go on to question number 20. Bronze is a mixture of A, copper and tin, B, iron and nickel, C, steel and zinc, D, and aluminium. So you know that the bronze is a mixture, is an alloy of copper and tin. So bronze is a mixture of copper and tin. We continue to question number 21. What is the main use of plane scale? A. Weighing materials. B. Cleaning tools. C. Measuring distances. D. Sharpening blades. So to start with, you know that question is asking about a plane scale. So it is not weighing materials. This is done by weighing balances or beam balances, and therefore that is not the correct option. What about C? What about B? Cleaning tools? That is not true. And also sharpening blades. We can use sharpening blades is not the function of a plane scale. It's not a function, and therefore plane scale is used to measure distances. It's used to measure distances, and that is the correct answer. We continue to question number 22. One characteristic of softwood is that they A. Are from broadleaf trees. B. Grow slowly. C. Are mostly found in Kenya. D. Have needle-like leaves. So to start with, it is not A. Are from broadleaf trees. This is hardwood, not softwood. Also B. Grow slowly. Softwood, they don't grow slowly. They grow very fast, and therefore this is not true. What about C? They are mostly found in Kenya. Kenya has more hardwoods than softwood, and therefore this one is not true. Therefore, the correct option is D, which says they have a needle-like leaves. So they have needle-like leaves, and the example of softwood, they will call them we have the conifers, which usually have needle-like leaves. And therefore, that is the correct answer. Question number 23. The one importance of ICT tools in communication is slow delivery. B. Makes records manual. C. Enhance message speed. D. Increase travels needs. So you know that is the function of ICT. For example, ICT tools like mobile phones, emails, social networking. It is not slow delivery. Also makes records manual. That is not true. And also increase travels needs. That one is not true. Therefore, the importance is it enhances message speed. Therefore, that is the correct option. It enhances message speed. Question number 24. Which one of the following tools is used in freehand sketching? So here we have A. Tape, B. Pencil, C. Divider, D. Hammer. You know that is not tape. Tape is used for measuring, not for sketching. Also divider for transferring measurement, and also hammer for driving nails. And therefore, the one that is used in freehand sketching is a pencil. That is the correct option. Let us go to question number 25. One ethical practice, so this is grade 9 work, in production is A. Using child labor. B. Overpricing items. C. Selling defective goods. D. Honest advertising. So using child labor, this is an ethical practice and it is illegal in Kenya. What about overpricing items? This is an ethical practice. What about selling defective goods? Also, this is an unethical. So when I'm saying unethical, the spelling is unethical. So these two are unethical practices. And therefore, the ethical practice is honest advertising of your products or services. Therefore, that is the correct option. Question number 26. One use of money is to A. Reduce shopping. That one is not true. B. Store taxes. Not true. And D. Replace banks. That one is not true. You know that money is a medium of exchange, and therefore one use is exchange of goods and services. And therefore that is the correct option. Let's go to question number 27. A simple budget helps a person to A. Avoid saving. B. Spend recklessly. C. Manage income and expenses. D. Increase loss. So budget, the function of the budget is not to avoid saving. And also spending recklessly, that one is not true. What about increasing losses? That one also is not true. And therefore, a simple budget helps a person to manage the income and also the expenses. Therefore, that is the correct option. We go to question number 28. What is one importance of entrepreneurship? A. Increases laziness. B. Creates employment. C. Reduces business ideas. D. Increases debt. So for this A, that one is wrong. Also part C, this is business idea, that one is not true. Given part D, increases debt, that one cannot be true. And therefore, one importance of entrepreneurship is that it creates employment. So this one creates job for people, thus employing people. And therefore, that is the importance of entrepreneurship. Question number 29. An example of a government tax in Kenya is, here we have A, VAT, B, loans, C, bonus, D, donation. Know that a government tax, this is the meaning as VAT means a value added tax, which is an example of a government tax. This is very common in supermarkets. So where we have, when you buy goods, you can see you are given a receipt there, and the receipt has a what we call VAT, showing the amount you pay as tax. So VAT means value added tax, which is an example of a government tax. Continue to question number 30. One use of oblique projection is in A, writing novels, B, making 3D drawings, C, producing cement, D, banking reports. So we know that oblique projection is whereby we represent 3D objects in a two-dimension Cartesian plane, or even on a flat surface, and therefore it's not writing novels. Also, producing cement is not true. Banking reports is not true. Therefore, one use of oblique projection is in making 3D drawings. So it is used to make 3D drawings. So we are done with the section A. Thank you. If you're still following along, kindly consider liking this video so that other learners like you can also benefit. So we're going to continue with section B, which you can see it has 50 marks. We're going to start with the first question, which reads, your class has been asked to build a display platform using wood. Name 2 types of wood used in Kenya. 2 marks. So we know that we have 2 types of wood. We have hardwood. So we have hardwood, e.g., example of hardwood. We have mahogany. Mahogany. We have mahogany. We have oak, meru, oak. We have meru oak and etc. We also have softwood. Softwood, e.g., example of softwood. We have pine, cypress. We have cedar and etc. These are the 2 types of wood used in Kenya. So hardwood and softwood. Part B, state 2 uses of hardwood, 2 marks. So you know that we have so many uses of hardwood. I'm going to state 2. Used to make furniture. So number 1, Roman 1, used to make furniture. Used to make furniture. Used to make furniture because it is durable and long lasting. Used to make furniture, e.g., tables, chairs, and etc. E.g., tables, chairs, and so on. Also, it is used in making tool handles. Used to make tool handles. Tool handles. Also, it can be also used in musical instruments. Other function, it is used to make musical instruments like guitars and others. So those are the 2 uses of hardwood. Continue to question number part C. Here we have explain why seasoning of wood is important. 1 mark. So seasoning, it is to remove moisture, that is water, from the wood, which helps to prevent warping, cracking, or splitting. Also increase its strength and durability, and also make it lighter and easier to work with. So that is the most important reason for wood seasoning. So it's to remove moisture, which helps to prevent cracking, increase its strength and durability, and also make it lighter and easier to work with. And therefore, we get that 1 mark. Continue to question number 32. Yeah, this is grade 7 mark. You are asked with you are tasked with creating a technical drawing of a table. Name these types of lines used in technical drawing, 3 marks. So you know that for Roman 1, here we have 3 lines, A, B, C. So for part A, this is what we call hidden line. It is used to show invisible edges. So the name is a hidden line. Hidden line. What about B? B, the name is break line. And also C, it's a straight line in 2 arrows. We call it dimension line. So C, the name is dimension line. So we get those 3 marks. We continue to the Roman 1. Define the following. A, linear dimensioning. So linear dimensioning is the process of indicating the straight line distance between 2 points or features on a drawing. It shows length, width, or height. That's what we mean by linear dimensioning. I know you're familiar with this. You have, for example, a shape, maybe a rectangle. It is not that clear. Then here you see, this is what we call linear dimensioning. So then it is written maybe 3 centimeters. So it shows the distance between 2 points on a drawing. So you can see here it shows this end to this end, it is 3 centimeters. That's what we mean by linear dimensioning. What about Roman 2? Angular dimensioning. So angular dimensioning is the process of indicating the size of an angle between 2 lines or surfaces on a drawing. It measures the arc or degrees of rotation. This one is very common also in mathematics. So whereby you have a triangle, and then here you put this arrow. This is what we call angular dimensioning. It shows that this angle, maybe angle A, B, C, the size of that angle. So this is what we call angular dimensioning. So we get that 2 marks. If you have any question, you can kindly ask in the comment section, and I'm going to answer you. Continue to question number 33. John wants to buy a computer. Name 2 input devices and 1 output devices. So 3 marks. We're going to name 2 input devices and 1 output devices. So remember, you're revising for the final exam, and therefore it is important for us to understand what is the meaning of input devices and what is the meaning of output devices. And then after that, we can now give examples. So input devices are computer hardware components that are used to enter data, instructions, or signals into a computer for processing. That is the meaning of input devices. What about output devices? Output devices are hardware components used to display, present, or produce results from a computer after processing. So that is the meaning of output. So example of input devices, we have so many input devices. We have keying devices like keyboard. So I can say keyboards. We also have pointing devices like mouse. We also have things like scanners, barcode scanners, and etc. All these are input devices. So what about output devices? We have visual output devices. Examples are monitor, projectors, and etc. Here we have monitors, projectors, and etc. We have audio output devices like speakers, headphones, and etc. Also, we have hard copy output devices like printers, and others. So we have given the examples. Part B, list 2 characteristics of computers. So here we have 2 marks, Roman 1, Roman 2. So you know that we have so many characteristics of computers. I'm going to list 2, and then you can list any. This is an open question. So I'm going to start with the first one is speed. You know that computers can perform tasks faster than human beings. And also the second characteristic is accuracy. Accuracy means that computer can perform tasks without any errors. You have so many characteristics, like we also can add this one, Roman 3. We have what we call versatility. 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 And then we have diligence. So versatility, computers are highly versatile. This means they can perform a wide variety of tasks. What about diligence? Diligence means that computers don't get tired, don't suffer from fatigue, boredom, or they cannot lose concentration. So these are some characteristics of computers. So we get those 2 marks. Continuing to question number 34. Your class is exploring different types of communication. List 2 forms of communication, 2 marks. So we're going to list 2 forms of communication. You know that we have verbal communication. We have what we call verbal communication. Verbal communication, that is spoken words, conversation, presentation, and etc. We also have non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication. For example, that is body language, expressions, gestures, eye contact, and etc. We also have written communication. Written communication. For example, we have letters, email, reports, and etc. Also, I can add another one, visual communication. So Roman 3, then Roman 4 can have visual communication. Visual communication, for example, charts, graph, images, videos, and etc. So those are 2 forms of communication I've given 4. Part B, identify 2 ICT tools used in communication, 2 marks. So we have several ICT tools. For example, we can have mobile phones. Mobile phones. It is an ICT tool. You can have computer stroke laptops. Stroke laptops. This is also an ICT tool. We can have the internet. Stroke email. You can also have video conferencing tools like Zoom, Google Meet, social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and etc. So all those are ICT tools which are used in communication. So you get those 2 marks. Number 35. A family is preparing a monthly financial plan. So you're thinking about a plan. Prepare a simple budget. So we're going to prepare a simple budget showing income, expenses, and savings. You can see it is 3 marks. So for your budget, it will have the following things: 1 mark for the income, the second mark for expenses, then finally for savings. Therefore, I'm going to show you how to prepare a simple budget. So here we have a simple budget. And here we have the income. Here you have category, description, and amount. For example, here we have the income. And then the income, the description is salary stroke allowances, 50,000. So that is your salary. Maybe this is an example, 50,000. Then expenses, here we have 4 expenses, the expenditure. Here we have rent, food, transport, and utilities. So rent, 15,000, food, 10,000, transport, 5,000, utilities, 3,000. Total expenses, you add these 15 plus 10 plus 5 plus 3, you can see it is 33,000. Saving, the description here we have monthly saving. It is the income minus the expenses. So it is your income 50,000 minus the expenses, which is 33,000. You get 17,000. This is a simple budget. That's a simple budget. So we are done with part A. Part B, state 2 reasons for creating a personal budget, 2 marks. The first reason is to manage money effectively. You're able to plan and manage your money. And also to achieve financial goals, you can be able to maybe save so that you can do something which is going to help you doing an investment and also meet your financial goals. And then part C, is to plan for future expenses stroke emergencies. So when you save, when you have a simple budget, when you prepare a personal budget, you're able to plan for future expenses and also emergencies. So those are the two reasons for creating a personal budget. Question number 36. Identify two physical threats in a workshop, 2 marks. So you know that we have many physical threats. This is grade 7 work. You can have sharp tools or objects such as chisel, saws, cutting blades, which can lead to cuts. You also have another physical threat is slippery floor. This is due to oil, water, or sawdust, which can lead to slips and falls. But also we can have what we call electrical hazard. For example, faulty wiring, exposed cables, which can lead to electric shock. So these are examples of physical threats in a workshop. Part B, identify 2 ways of preventing fire accidents, 2 marks. So how can we prevent fire accidents? Number 1 is proper storage of flammable materials. I know you know this. And also regular maintenance of electrical systems. So make sure that your electrical systems and appliances are well maintained and taken care of. So those are the 2 ways which you can prevent fire accidents. Question number 37. Your class is discussing entrepreneurship. Give 2 qualities of a good entrepreneur, 2 marks. This is a very common question. So one quality is that he or she is innovative or creative. This is the ability to come up with new ideas, products, or services. So innovative stroke creativity. Come up with new ideas, products, services, and goods. Roman 2, risk taker. That is willingness to take calculated risk to achieve business goals. Also another point is he or she is determined, stroke hardworking. That is, he or she is committed and effort to make the business successful. So that is another quality of a good entrepreneur. We get those 2 marks. Part B, list 2 sources of business ideas, 2 marks. So one, it can be from observing the daily needs, problems in the community. So you observe the needs of the community and then you come up with a business that will solve their problem. Also number 2, research and development. You can develop a business idea by researching and also knowing what is needed in a particular area. And part 3, it can be through online platforms, magazines, or even exhibitions. So these are sources of business ideas. You can also get a business idea from experienced business people and also from reading from books and etc. So we continue to question number 38. During a cleanup exercise, students found many e-wastes. Remember, we said e-waste means electronic wastes. Define e-waste. So e-wastes refers to discarded electrical or electronic devices or equipment that have reached the end of their useful life. So example is old computers, mobile phones, televisions, refrigerators. So these are examples of e-wastes. Part B, list 3 types of hazardous wastes. 3 types of hazardous wastes. You know that we have several hazardous wastes. For example, we have chemical wastes. Chemical wastes, e.g., we have pesticides. For example, pesticides. Hazardous wastes, these are materials, the wastes that were not handled carefully can cause hazards or even discomfort. So part 2, Roman, the second point, we have flammable wastes. Flammable wastes. Good example is aerosols. Then we also have corrosive wastes. Corrosive wastes. We write well. Corrosive wastes. Example is battery acids, they are very corrosive. Battery acids and strong bleaches. So battery acids, battery acids, or even strong bleaches. So those are some examples, the types of hazardous waste in there found in the environment. Question number 39. During ICT lessons, students used Scratch software. Part A, what is visual programming? 2 marks. So you know that visual programming is a type of programming where users create programs by manipulating graphical elements. So the graphical elements are blocks, icon, or diagrams instead of writing text-based code. So that's what we mean by visual programming. And in grade 9, from grade 8, they're using Scratch, which is a visual, to teach students visual programming. Part B, give 2 benefits of using Scratch in learning. 2 marks. So you know that Scratch simplifies learning to code. That is, make programming concept accessible and engaging, especially for beginners and young learners, by using visual blocks. So it simplifies learning to code. So learners are able to understand how to easily code by just dragging the blocks and putting some simple commands. What about another benefit? Do you know another benefit? You can tell us in the comment section another benefit of using Scratch in learning. So let us know in the comment section which is another benefit of using Scratch. Question number 40. A local circle offers several services. Name 2 services provided by financial institutions. 2 marks. So you know that financial institutions like circles, they offer what we call loans and credit facilities. That is by providing money for personal or business use. They also offer investment services, that is helping customers invest in various financial instruments. They also they offer what we call saving accounts or deposit accounts, that is deposit services, allowing customers to keep their money safely and earn interest. So these are some of examples of services which are provided by financial institutions. Part B, state 2 roles of government in protecting consumers. 2 marks. So what is the role of the government in protecting consumers? Roman 1. So the first point is controlling prices of essential goods, in some cases to prevent exploitation. Another point is ensuring product quality and safety standards are met. So the government sets up body which look at the quality of goods provided and also to ensure that the safety standards are met. Finally, we have another point is to enacting and enforcing consumer protection law, e.g. laws against unfair trade practices, misleading advertisements, product safety standards, and etc. So those are the roles of government in protecting consumers. So you can see that is the end of this paper. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to this channel if you are new, because I'm going to post daily. Every week you're going to get new videos. Thank you so much. Best wishes as you prepare for your final exam. See you in the next video.